The past year, as most of you know, has been a whirlwind of activity, especially for OSPA's CME committee and for the board. At the onset of COVID last year, we were told by experts not to expect much of anything legislatively because everyone, governmental offices, will be absorbed in dealing with COVID and they won't have the bandwidth to address our issues. We ignored that and we decided to be part of the solution. OSPA was the first to propose that AAPA encourage state chapters to ask their governors to suspend current PA rules for supervision, chart review, and other requirements in order to allow PAs more flexibility in responding to patient needs during the crisis. OSPA then made this request to Governor Brown, who placed our request into a bill which was passed last summer during the special emergency session. Right after the last conference, we started meeting virtually with senators and representatives to discuss all the bills that we were submitting. We often met virtually with 2 to 4 legislators per week. We work with many stakeholders through the year, including the Oregon Medical Board, the Oregon Medical Association, and family practice physicians, and others. It has been a very busy and a very productive year. It's been a pleasure to work with this A-team group. This group has worked above and beyond the normal duties of their positions. And we have some well-deserved awards, which we'll present at the end of this meeting. For now, I want to turn this over to our immediate past president, Sage Davis Rice. And this time I warned you, unlike last year.
He did warn me, unlike last year. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the meeting, the membership meeting. We appreciate all of our members and the work that you have done with us for the last year, and that your support by being members has allowed us to do as well. Essentially, what I want to highlight in my very brief talk today is the work of the board and the committees of the board. So the board has worked really hard this last year on the legislative agenda and also on many aspects of PA practice in our community. And that work is often unrecognized because it's quiet. And so as the executive board, we want to make sure that the board members and the committee members are recognized for the many hours that they donate to PA advocacy for Oregon PAs. We've had outstanding service from all of our committee chairs and co-chairs for the last year, and that's not different. Every year we have outstanding commitment from our committee chairs and co-chairs and the members of our committees. But what is different about this last year, of course, is that it was all in the face of a global pandemic, which was an extraordinary burden for those of our profession, not only personally, like everyone in the world, but professionally as well. And the work of the committees and the board members and the chairs and co-chairs was, as Ben said, above and beyond. And then I also want to recognize all of our membership and all PAs in the state of Oregon for their amazing service to our community, to our patients. And I think that the world has recognized frontline workers, but that recognition wanes. And I think it's important for OSPA to continue to recognize the work that you do and how necessary it is. And finally, I want to make sure that we take a few minutes to recognize Ben. His leadership has been invaluable. Sometimes we have to hold him back a little. We might have to moderate him just a moment or two, but his energy is unflagging and his commitment to PA advocacy is unparalleled. He he always thinks about what is good for the PA profession, and pushes all of us to think about that all the time. And we also have given him a small token of appreciation, which he better not have opened before this moment.
I did not. Lisa looked at it, but she wouldn't let me see it. She kept it in that.
So, so you can open it now, a small token of our appreciation for you. And I think this is the closest thing to your heart, Ben, but the biggest piece of print on it should be, you made a difference.
That is close. That is special to me. And it says OSPA President 2019 to 2021, Ben Johnson, PAC. Thank you for believing in our mission, offering invaluable leadership and support. It says you made a difference. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm going to turn this back over to you.
All right. Well, I got next up Brian on the agenda. Our current president-elect will take over as president as of Monday.
Thank you, Ben. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. How do you follow up those words that Sage just provided? I think that was perfect. It was eloquent. I think, I have expressed to the board and expressed to many people in my circle about how impressed I have been with Ben in his presidency and what he has done. I think I like when Sage mentioned that we had to hold him back sometimes, and honestly, it was always out of a good place. He's just anxious and excited and passionate, and I don't intend to even come close to replicating the passion that Ben showed during his presidency, but do hope to take a lot of that and learn from that and move forward into my presidency starting after this conference. I'm excited to represent everybody and really want to be open and available if there's questions, concerns, if there's things that you feel OSPA should be doing or needs to be focusing on, please reach out to us. We really appreciate that. I do want to add one more thing because Sage is humble and she didn't mention herself, but I will say Sage is finishing up 9 years on the board, which is pretty remarkable. The board has changed a lot. For those that haven't been a part of it or haven't seen it, just the dynamics and the culture has improved greatly. And I would put almost all of that on Sage. She probably would deny it and say it's a team effort, and it is to a certain degree, but she is fantastic. And I remember my very first board meeting when I attended. There was debate, there was argument, there was discussion, and Sage reached out to me literally an hour after the meeting just to see how I felt and how I handled it and how things were going. And if it wasn't for Sage, I'm not sure I would have wanted to keep pushing forward. And things have just gotten better and better, and she has been a major leader in this realm. And so I do want to make sure that we recognize Sage as well and thank her for everything that she has done.
I second that.
Thank you. You're not wrong. It is a team effort. But I appreciate you guys, and it has been an honor to serve.
I see Elisa just popped in.
Hi, I'm Elisa Gifford. I'm an outgoing director at large and a House of Delegate representative, and I'm also the co-chair for the Membership and Communications Committee. And I've been on the board for about 3 years and just absolutely love serving with everybody and the work that we get done.
Do we have anybody else who would like to pop in?
Yeah, I don't know if can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I just have my headphones in, so I didn't know if it would translate. I'm Katie Volk. I've been the secretary for the last 4 years and practiced family med in Madras. And then it's just been an honor. It's been wild because my time on the board has correlated with having a little guy who's 3, and I've been on the board for 4 years. So I feel like it's been a challenging time frame for me, but it's been such a period of growth. And it really has been awesome working with this team and pushing so hard to move the profession forward and to protect the profession. So it's just been a true honor, and I'll definitely be back.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else aside from Lisa? Because Lisa's next anyhow, she's here.
This is Kate Grace. This is my
Hi, Kate.
first, hey, Ben. This is my first OSPA conference in a few years after diligently continuing to attend them for many years. I was the past OSPA president for 2 years. I've been doing locums in remote Alaska for the last 5 years, and have just come back to where I essentially started my practice in very rural America and halfway Oregon. So I'm looking forward to becoming involved again.
Great.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I've known Kate for a long time. Lisa should be getting on in a minute. She's our GAC chair. And even though, as you know, I think we've yelled and jumped up and down enough for you to know that we've passed the PA modernization, HB 3036, signed by the governor. And does that mean it's all done? Well, it doesn't, because as Taylor and them know, statute is one thing, but now the rules have to be made. And if we don't watch the way the rules are being made, they could potentially not cause things to not develop the way we envision. So we are working closely with the Oregon Medical Board, Sage and Taylor, and Lisa and I had a meeting, was it last week before maybe, with them, and it is going great. We have a great relationship with them that we fostered over the past year. We've set up so we're having monthly meetings with them as these rules are being made. They're even presenting us with the rules before they're taking them to their committee. They're very interested in what we have to say, and so far everything is going great. But the number one thing is we're keeping an eye on it, and we're making sure that we're in the room. Lisa, are you here yet? I'm running out of things to say. Not really. I don't usually do that.
She's still.
That said, on that note, another thing OSPA is trying to do is to build a committee. We only have a few people on it so far for practice level management. A lot of nurses, a lot of NPs are, as we know, into management and practice level. And we would like to have a committee that supports PAs in those positions or moving into those positions. So if anybody is interested in that committee, please just send a note to our management on the website. What's the link on that? It's the email. Brian, do you know?
I think you could even just email it info@oregonpa.org.
Exactly, and we'll get you connected. They're going to have a meeting next month. Brian, you want to go with the Racial Equity Task Force?
Sure. I'll fill in everyone that, when we had this meeting last year, we had just created this new task force and hadn't really gotten things off the ground and running at that time, but we've been really productive over the last year. We've met pretty regularly and have created and done quite a bit. And so I just wanted to give everyone an update on what's going on. One of the first things I'd like to direct people to, if they haven't noticed yet, is there is a racial equity task force link on our website where we have some information. We have we've collected several free anti-racist CME opportunities for anybody that's interested in kind of seeing some of that and learning more about those topics to try to provide to our membership, so people can explore some of those issues as they evaluate their own practice, their own communities, and kind of how things are going. The other thing that we're in the process of starting, and we've gotten a little bit going, is a mentoring program, basically providing mentoring and help to pre-PA students largely who may come from disadvantaged backgrounds and might need a little support with interview prepping or CASPA application type stuff. And we've coordinated with a PA student at OHSU who has already sort of built something out for the OHSU PA program and are looking to expand it to all the PA programs in the state. That's kind of next up in our list of things to do. A couple other things we've done that have been really fun and really engaging are some school outreach programs where we've had some of our committee members go and speak to high schools and just talk about what the PA program is and sort of put it on people's radar so they know this is an option. And then we can also promote our mentoring programs and things like that to get in early and get the interest in the profession starting out at a younger age. One other big thing that has been really fun and interesting and inspiring is we've connected with WAPA and CAPA, so Washington and California's PA groups, and have had a few meetings to discuss kind of what they're working on and trying to work together as sort of like a West Coast group and coordinate our efforts and things like that. So, we've had a lot of student involvement, which has been really cool, and we're really hoping to kind of build our career PA involvement as well. So, if any of you are interested or curious or would like more information about what we're doing or would like to even just attend a meeting, you're obviously welcome. Just shoot us an email, let us know. If you know anybody who may find this interesting or or want to participate, point them our direction as well, because the student involvement is awesome, but it would be great to also have career PAs involved as well. And then lastly, any feedback that anybody has about what we've been doing and what we should be focused on and moving towards, we're obviously very open and wanting to hear from that as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Is Lisa on yet?
Lisa is.
Yes, I am.
Hi, Lisa. Sorry about
Hello.
that. We didn't know that you had to sign up for things.
Yeah, and all of my professional meetings are done via Teams. So my name is Lisa Hayes. I'm your Government Affairs Committee Chair. Just to give you a little bit of information, first of all, a huge celebration over the passage of our House Bill 3036, which is the PA modernization bill. We are continuing to monitor as the Oregon Medical Board develops rules to implement the PA modernization bill. We are also working to add an additional PA to the Oregon Medical Board. We attempted to do that this last year and didn't make it through, but we did get the modernization through. The other things that we have on the agenda to work on this year is to increase the number of visits and the length of time that PAs can take care of workers' compensation patients. Right now, we have a very, very short window during which we can take care of workers' compensation patients, and we're looking to extend that to at least be equal to that of nurse practitioners. We will be working with the Oregon Health Authority to add PAs to the Oregon Health Authority Medical Liability Insurance Subsidy Program for rural providers, and always looking to expand PA practice in Oregon to reach parity with nurse practitioners. We think that that's exceedingly important. The name change, big deal from a national perspective. However, at this time, AAPA is not quite ready for our state associations to move forward with that name change. But as soon as they are ready for us, we will be ready to do that as well. We are also continuing to work with the Oregon Health Authority to make sure that physician assistants are able to order durable medical equipment for patients, as well as sign home health orders. Those are some changes that have been made on the national level and haven't quite trickled down into the Oregon rules yet. And then, of course, we will continue to monitor Salem for any bills that are submitted that have the potential of having an impact on PA practice in the state of Oregon.
Very good. Thank you. The one thing we have left on here, let's see, CME committee report, AJ and Heather.
So I'd like to report that we have had a very successful conference so far, that we've been able to get about 77 people online at this conference, and we've had 133 register. We have a total of about 28 CME credit hours, I believe, when I did my count, and a lot of those are pre-recorded, so we can watch them at our convenient time. These also, the ones that are being live are also recorded, so we really like that option that you can watch any missed presentations. It does give you the advantage of having more CME available to you than if we just did the traditional in-person with no recordings. So that's been nice. Compared to, if you want a frame of reference, last year, we also did a 4-day virtual conference with morning live sessions and afternoon recorded ones. And that was a total of 25 credit hours. Last year we had 123 attendees, and we also had an additional 62 students who logged in. Additionally, we had 8 credit hours that were offered throughout the quarter, each quarter at the rest of the 2020 year and part of 2021, which was another nice option. And going forward, we do look forward to having a in-person option at the Seaside Convention Center. That facility is very well equipped to handle a large crowd, to allow continuing measures that we can take if the pandemic is still happening, which we're going to hope for the best. It also has a lot of options for separate tracks, and it has a lot of high-tech facilities that allow us to record and live stream. So we're also hoping to continue the virtual option as we move forward with our CME conferences, so that we can cater to every situation, everybody's priorities, and allow as much attendance as possible. Additionally, we are hoping to continue to record these lectures and presentations, so that if you miss a presentation or something at the beach just draws your attention, you can still go and have fun at the beach, but not feel like you're really missing out on all of these conference opportunities. And in the future, we also would like to look at the timing. I know that, Ben, you had mentioned that we would like to really truly investigate, is early September a good time for us to hold this conference, or can we find a time in the summer that might work for more people? This conference is really for the membership. It's a way for us to connect and to get CME, to kind of develop professionally. And so it does kind of mean that we need to do it at a time where most people can attend, where we get the largest interest. So if I recall, we were going to send out a survey, right? So
Yeah,
that we can really assess that.
Yeah, we did send out a survey, and
I think I answered it even.
Yeah, I didn't go back and look at it yet, but yeah, you know,
Okay.
I mean, the question is, there's pros and cons. I mean, earlier
Right.
has pros, but then, you know, some people argue, well, everybody's going on vacation, but then maybe you want to make a vacation at the beach. And I'm going to say a couple,
Perfect.
and then we'll open it up to hear if we have any questions from our members that are on. I ran for president on the platform of passing OTP, later called PA modernization, and that's something, as I've said before, I couldn't do by myself. Together, we've done what none of us could actually do alone. We've made historical changes in Oregon law that will have a positive impact on the future of our profession and the growth of our profession. This is one example of why organizations such as OSPA are so important to those that they represent. But these organizations are only as strong as their membership. It's easy to not see, as we've said a couple times, everything that your organization does for you. Although Sage and I have tried to increase that communication. I think we've done well with that. But such as protecting the profession from intentional or unintentional law or rule changes of others, and responding to those as they arise. Just a couple of the important tasks that OSPA has ahead of us include monitoring and working with the OMB, as we've talked about, during the rulemaking process on HB 3036. And as we said, we're currently meeting with the OMBA monthly and reviewing proposed rules. Also working with the OMA and legislators to establish a point of parity, which I would like to see for PAs with other providers. During discussions over the past year with members of the Oregon Medical Board, the Oregon Medical Association, and the Association of Family Practice Physicians, I don't know if I said that right, they have all expressed understanding during meetings that PAs do need parity. And at the conclusion of the last meeting with the OMA agreed to future discussions on this issue. Now, of course, everyone here should be a member since it's a membership meeting, and I thank you for that. As I said, you are OSPA. But if you know PAs who are not OSPA members, please encourage them to join, because the larger we are, the more we can accomplish. Colleagues, it's been an honor to serve as your president for the past 2 years, truly. It has also been a pleasure to work with our board, our GAC, and other committees, including CME. Do we have any members that wanted to make any motions, have any comments, have any questions? Something to say? John, how you doing? Haven't seen you for a while.
It's good to see you all. And yeah, I'd love to.
Are you in the US?
Yeah, I'm here. Those are all the places my wife and I have been so far. So every time we go somewhere, we buy a little piece of art and hang it on the wall. I wanted to thank you all, Lisa, especially you, for your extraordinary effectiveness in advocating for the PA profession, but really the OSPA board too, for supporting all those efforts. Really, it's, PA modernization is a tremendous accomplishment. I think it's the most important PA legislation ever. And I'm so proud of the OSPA for making it happen. I think the OSPA is functioning at its highest level ever. And it's thanks to you board members and committee members. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John.
Thanks, John. It's good seeing you.